Hey there, it's BoardGameDave, and today we're taking a look at the top 10 board games that I played the most digitally last year. We're talking games on my phone, on my laptop, etc. But before we get into the list, I really quickly wanted to say thank you so much for helping this channel hit 8,000 subscribers lately, which is a mind-boggling, baffling number. I really, as I always say, truly appreciate all the support and the fact that you want to see me talk about board games and the comments that you share and the likes and all those wonderful things and the sense of community that we're building around this channel that I just randomly started so many years ago. So thank you so much for, again, your enduring support. I will say, of course, that uploads have been a little bit less consistent lately, of course, with the baby on the way. We're working on the nursery and reading books about babies and planning for baby showers and playing chess together, Hannah and I, for some reason. That's been our go-to game lately. So things have just gotten a little bit busy with all those things, but I still, of course, want to make sure I'm putting out videos from time to time like this. So also, really quick, if you have nothing else going on next weekend, you should consider coming to Level Up Retreat, which is in Woodbridge, New Jersey, from January 31st to February 2nd, Friday to Sunday. I'll be there. A whole bunch of other content creators are going to be there. It's a great chance for you to meet with and engage with and play board games with some of your favorite people that you see online all the time in the board game space. So if you're interested, check out the website down in the description. I'll be there. I would love to see you there. I know some of you are going to be attending and I can't wait to see you. So that's next weekend. Check it out if you haven't already. All right, now the bulk of this list is going to be coming straight from BoardGameArena, which is by far my favorite way to play board games online. It's so quick, it's super streamlined, everything's scripted. They have over 1,000 games to choose from. There's always people willing to play. The user interface is super intuitive and easy to manage. It's fantastic. If you don't play on BoardGameArena already, you should definitely consider it. If nothing else, it's a really great way to try out a game that you're interested in before you pull the trigger on buying it and see if you really like, the mechanisms and such. So all that to say, it looks like I played 38 different games on BoardGameArena in 2024 for a total of over 400 plays logged. So I did a lot of playing on BoardGameArena. I play turn-based, I play real-time, I play in tournaments, I play with friends, strangers. It's fantastic. But the number 10 game I played the most was a game called Can't Stop. Now, this is a very simple push your luck game. It takes about 6 minutes to play. And the basic premise is that you are trying to climb this mountain and get 3 of your pegs to reach the top. On your turn, you're going to roll 4 dice and try to make combinations with those dice, like 7 and 6 or 10 and 3. And then you get to move your pegs up those corresponding numbers. The catch is on each turn, you can only use 3 pegs. So if you ever roll those 4 dice and you can't move one of those pegs, you bust and you lose all your progress for that round. So what you want to do is at some point, kind of play it safe and just stop rolling. And then you get to save your progress like this on those tracks. So anyway, first person to make it up 3 different tracks wins. There's a couple other rules, but it's such a fun, quick, super easy, but also very tantalizing and stressful push your luck game. It can't stop. Number 9 was Potion Explosion. Now, this is a game I do have a physical copy of, but I find that I play it way more online than I do in real life. So Potion Explosion is this wonderful game. They call it sometimes, it's like Candy Crush the board game, right? Where you're pulling these candy pieces, marbles in this case, and making explosions to get more and more marbles. So the way it works is on your turn, typically you're going to pull one of these marbles, right, out of the track. And then if the marbles that come down to replace it match in color, they collide and you get to take all those marbles. And then if more clack of the same color, you get to take those marbles. And it's this great cascading chain effect thing where you get to take a whole bunch of marbles potentially. So if it was my turn, like I would remove this blue one, which you can do once per turn, and then I'd pull the red one, and then the yellow ones would clack together, and I'd have a whole bunch of marbles. Now, what you're going to do with those marbles is you're going to use them to fill your potions, and each potion has like a different special ability, like taking clusters or 2 different adjacent marbles, things like that. It's going to help you be more efficient in gathering more marbles, and they also score you points, as you can see here. Throughout the course of the game, you're going to get these little award tokens. That's the timer of the game as well. And whoever has the most points wins. It's like the most satisfying game I'm going to talk about today because you can pull off these insane combos as marbles just keep coming down the little, what do you call those things? distributor tracks. And sometimes you just get really lucky because you can't even see what's, in the hopper there. So as they come out, you might just get lucky and get a crazy, 13 marble combo. But yeah, it's Potion Explosion, and it plays really fast on Board Game Arena. Number 8 was Wingspan, which is a game, of course, that's ubiquitous in the board gaming community. If you don't know, this game came out in 2019 and absolutely took the world by storm. It's this gorgeous game about attracting a flock of birds to your apiary. And I'll point out, by the way, again, just to kind of put a pin on the fact that there's so many gamers playing on Board Game Arena at any given time. There are 7,143 games of Wingspan going on right now on Board Game Arena, which is insane. So let's watch one of these games. In Wingspan, on your turn, you're going to do one of 4 things. If you, again, don't know already, you can play a bird into your habitat. You can gain food from the bird feeder to help you feed your birds. You can lay eggs, which are going to let you play more birds, and you can draw more cards. And that's essentially what you're going to do each turn. Now, as you put birds into your tableau, as we call it, though, they're going to give you certain abilities. So now for this player, when they gain food, they also get to lay an egg on any bird, and they also get to gain a wheat from the supply and put it on that card for points. So there's this wonderful thing we call engine building, where as the game progresses through the 4 rounds, each turn's going to get more combo-tastic as, your simple turns turn into big, again, cascading, chaining combos of getting resources and scoring points and laying eggs and drawing cards and all those things. I think that's what really makes Wingspan so satisfying and rewarding. There's also end-of-round goals, objectives you can score points for, and your own personal objectives as well, but I can't see them because they're secret. So that's essentially Wingspan in a nutshell. It is a long game in person, but again, with the interface on Board Game Arena, it goes very, very quickly. This is a game, by the way, that my cousins and I love to play on Board Game Arena. I introduced it to them many years ago when we were on like a family vacation, and we kind of got obsessed with this game. Some of my, casual gamer cousins got super into Wingspan, so we love playing this just turn-based on Board Game Arena. It's a great way for us to play games because we don't see each other that often, but we can still play Wingspan online. So I love that. And it's, nice way to connect with my cousins. So that's number 8. Number 7 was 7 Wonders Architects, which is essentially a very streamlined and simplified version of 7 Wonders, which is a great card drafting game that I love. But Architects is a very quick, it plays in like 7 minutes, it says on Board Game Arena. Very simple, streamlined game for 2 to 7 players. So in this game, on your turn, literally all you do is you draw a card, either from the middle deck or from one of the decks beside you, because you're going to be sharing a deck with your left neighbor and your right neighbor. So you draw a card and you resolve it. Sometimes it'll give you a resource that'll help you build your wonder. Sometimes it'll give you military strength that'll help when you resolve the kind of battle phase of the game, which is going to happen right here. The more military strength you have, the better you'll do points-wise. You might get these blue cards that just give you points outright. You might also get these science cards, these green cards, which will give you, if you get a match, tokens that'll help you get more cards or get rid of a restriction on how you build your wonder, things like that. And I also love this part. If you get the cat, which gets passed around throughout the game, you get to look at that middle deck. You get to look at the top card before you choose which deck to choose from. It gives you a little bit of foresight, which is really fun. And essentially you just keep playing until right now somebody finishes their wonder. At that point, you add up the points from your, victory points from the battles, blue card points, etc. And whoever has the most points wins. It's quick, it's fun, it's zippy. I've played it in person. It's also just as quick in person. Well, not just as quick, but very fun and fast paced. And let's see who wins since we're already kind of invested. It looks like El Saki is dominating here, but no! Zazo something 4,000 wins. So there you go. Number 6 was a game called Gnar, which is a game I had only played on Board Game Arena and really enjoyed, but didn't quite pull the trigger on buying. And then my friend Connor and I played it at a local board game cafe in person, and I really enjoyed playing with the physical cards and tokens. It's much more satisfying playing in person, as goes for pretty much any board game in my opinion. But Gnar is a game where you are taking on the role of a Viking chieftain, and you are leading your warriors into battle, I suppose, or just building up your, chieftain tribe thing. Anyway, In this game, you're mostly doing this kind of card drafting set collection thing. On your turn, you're going to grab a Viking crew member from your hand and add them to your tableau. And they'll give you points, or they'll give you reputation, which is going to help you get more points. They might give you these bracelets, which lets you trigger some of your card abilities. And you're going to organize them by color in front of you like this. Let's say I played a green card into my tableau. At the end of my turn, I'll take the card that's in that green column space after I activate all of the cards in my green column. I'm going to get a helmet, I'm going to get a bracelet, right? Helmets count as a wild color basically for buying other cards. So that's what you're going to do on most of your turns. On future turns, you can also spend your Vikings, your clan members, to purchase these cards. Now, there's basic ones that are going to kind of give you engine building things, but not a lot of points. And then there's these ones up here, which are big point scorers up here. So you can see the cost over here. They're going to give you some sort of persistent benefit as you trigger them, and also an immediate benefit up there. As you take your turns, your reputation can get you beginning of the turn points, and you're going to circle around getting points until somebody hits 40, and then whoever has the most points wins. Again, very fun game, very fun card-based, simple, straightforward game to play, and I really liked playing it 2-player with Connor, and it was so fast that we actually played 2 games back-to-back. So there's a couple more nuances. It's actually a very cleverly designed game. And apparently there's these artifacts things you can add to the game that kind of give it a little bit more variability. So we didn't try that, but I could see that being another point for the variability and replayability of this game. It's called Gnar. Definitely worth checking out. I forget who publishes it, but they make really good games. Is it Pandasaurus maybe? I'm not sure, but you should check it out. Number 5 was Maracaibo, one of my top 3 favorite games of all time, designed by Alexander Pfister. This is one of my favorite Euro games of all time. This game is going to see you as a privateer in the 17th century sailing around the Caribbean. Now, this is a much more complex, longer, mid-heavyweight Euro game, but there's just so much you can do in this game that's very thematic. You're going to be sailing around the Caribbean islands. You're going to be sending explorers into the South American mainland to complete quests. You're going to be doing battle alongside the French and Spanish and English to gain reputation and fame with those different factions. You're going to be recruiting members of your fleet, so innkeepers and natives and ministers and sailors and mercenaries and explorers that are going to kind of join your crew. You're going to be upgrading your ship. There's just so much to be done in this game, and I love how sandboxy it is, how open-ended it is, how thematic everything is. It's also basically a rondel game where each turn you move your ship, 1 to 7 spaces clockwise around the Caribbean, and then do the thing at that space, either a village action, a city action, a quest action, things like that. And the game is just wonderful. It grows organically as your crew gets bigger and your ship gets more upgraded. You can do more things, resolve more actions. You're going to be gaining more and more money income at the end of each round. At the end of 4 rounds, you tally up your points from a myriad of different locations, and the player with the most points wins. I'm actually playing in a tournament of this right now. I got first place in the first round, moved on to the second round. It's a game I've played a lot in person, and also I love playing it on BoardGameArena. I played it, 12 times this past year. So it's a game I really, really enjoy, and it's awesome. Maracaibo. Number 4 was a really small and simple card game called Sea Salt and Paper, and it fits inside this tiny little box. And this is one of our go-to games for me and Hannah on like an evening. You can play this on the couch. You can play it in front of the fireplace. It's just a deck of cards, and yeah, it plays really quickly. It's very quick when it's 2 players at least. And on your turn, you're either going to take one of the 2 face-up cards here, or, they just started a new round, or you take 2 cards from the deck face down, choose one, and put one down face up. And that's the whole thing. And essentially what you're trying to do is collect sets of octopuses or shells or things like that, penguins, sailors. You also can get pairs of cards that have special abilities. So 2 fish will let you take another turn or take the top card from the deck, I forget. 2 crabs will let you sift through the face-up piles and find a card that you need. A shark plus a swimmer will let you steal a card from the opponent's hand. So it's got these wonderful little powers that you can activate. And then there's also this push your luck thing you can do where, and this is more fun maybe with more players, if you think that you've got so many points in your hand that everybody else can take an extra turn and you'll still have more points than they will, you can say last chance, show your cards, and then everybody gets one more turn to try to beat your score. If they don't, you get extra points. If you fail, you get penalized, and it's really, really fun. There's also these mermaids and color bonuses, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So again, small, tiny little game that you can play anywhere, and I really like it. It's fun. It's got beautiful origami art as well. Another small box Pandasaurus game. Highly recommend. Number 3 with 25 plays was Shifting Stones. And this has become a recent favorite game of mine to show or introduce to people who are casual gamers or non-gamers. If we're having like a game night and I don't know, how comfortable people are with, hobby board games, it's one that I like to pack with me because it's really easy to teach. It's very satisfying without a lot of rules overhead. You can teach it really quick, jump right in. It's not a very long game, and it's just intuitive and fun. So Shifting Stones is a game in which you're going to always start your turn with, well, usually 4 of these pattern cards that look like, let's say this, for example, right? On your turn, you're going to be manipulating these tiles, this 3x3 grid of big chunky tiles, either sliding them side to side, flipping them over, so on and so forth, in order to make the grid here match your card. So in this case, again, if I was holding this card, I could show and say, hey, I've got 2 white, tiles on top of each other. I score a point. Now there's really easy objective cards that are 1 point each, and then they go all the way from 1 to 2 to 3 to 5 point cards that are really hard to pull off. So on your turn, you might have to flip this and slide this and flip this again and slide this again and slide this one more time. But when you can pull off those big 5-point cards, it's very satisfying. And you play until somebody hits a prescribed number of cards, as shown here based on player count. And then you add up the points, and that's the whole game. So it's quick, it's fun. Again, very intuitive, tangible. It's nice to flip those chunky tiles around. And yeah, it's been a very successful game. I've gotten to introduce to a lot of people who, again, might not be super into board games, but they can handle a game like Shifting Stones. So it's fun to play in person, fun to play online too. Number 2, with a whopping 248 completed plays last year, was a game called Space Base. Now, this is a game that I obviously play a ton. There was a point in time where I was playing it pretty much every single day. I would play a game of Space Base. And we'll talk about why in a little bit, but basically Space Base is a better Machikoro, if you know that game, where essentially one player rolls a pair of dice and then they're going to get some benefits, and then oftentimes everybody else will also get a benefit. Now, Machikoro, that happens sometimes where the other players, get to steal or whatever. In Space Base, it is so much more fun. It's so much more mitigatable. It's so much more interactive because you're almost always, especially later in the game, you're always getting something from other players' dice rolls. And it's just such a better game than Machikoro. So you'll notice here, right? This red player rolled a pair of 4s. Now, in this case, they can either activate their 4 card twice or their 8 card once. And there's so many more special abilities. Like for this player, if they activate the 8, they can trigger one of their neighboring cards. So 3 coins, for example, or a persistent income, right? In this case. And then everybody else can trigger their, up here, 4 cards twice or the 8 card once, like that. And the way this works is as you get your coins, you can buy cards from this market here. There's level 1 cards, level 2 cards, level 3 cards. And then let's say I buy this card right here, right? Costs 2 coins. It's going to go in my 10 slot, which means when I roll a 10, it's going to activate, right? So that goes here in my 10 slot, and then the card that's currently there gets flipped over, and then the red side is going to show up back here. So that means when other players roll a 10, right, I would get 3 coins, plus I could trigger one of my neighboring columns, which in this case would be this one for 3 coins and income, right? And the cool thing about this is as you flip those cards over, you can stack these different columns. That's how Space Base works. It is super fun. It resolves so quickly. One of the things I really like about playing this game on BoardGameArena, and the reason why I play it so much, is because, and I'll show you really quick here, some of the settings you can change is auto confirm, auto select sector choice when better, and auto confirm purchases. But these 2 first things here, they make the game so, I don't want to say it plays itself, but basically when other people are taking their turns, then you don't have to do anything. It'll just be like, okay, well, 3 coins is better than 2 coins, so we'll, activate that effect. So if you're playing a 4-player game, all those other people's turns, they just resolve automatically. So I could be, eating or watching a soccer game or paying off bills or, whatever, doing anything else. And then, every 4 turns when it's my turn, oh, okay, it's my turn. Let me buy this card and then go back to whatever I was doing, which, I don't know if that sounds fun to you, but it's a nice way for me to multitask, playing a game that I enjoy and not having to commit a ton of time, energy, brain power, decision space into a game. So it's just kind of become my go-to, comfort game. So it's space-based. It's amazing. My cousins and I, we've been playing Machikoro for years and years, the same cousins who we play Wingspan now. And I bought them a copy of Space Base and I was pitching it as it's absolutely a Machikoro killer. It is so much better than Machikoro, which is so random, so swingy, whatever. And we still haven't played it, so whatever. But yeah, Space Base is an awesome game. You should check it out. And the number 1 game that I played the most digitally in 2024, not on BoardGameArena, by the way, was a game called Dominion. Now, this is a very old 2008 game. It's one of the first modern board games I ever played. Probably since 2008, I've been playing Dominion. And for as old as it is just so innovative and refreshing with the expansions that keep coming out almost every year. And it keeps the game fun and rewarding and, feeling very novel. Now, I've been playing on the Dominion app, which I should go ahead and say now that I did get a review key, which allowed me access to all the expansions on the app. And I also got paid to do a rules teach video using the app, which is the only paid video ever on my channel, by the way. So anyway, so this game is phenomenal. I love the game. And this is maybe one of the only games I will ever say is probably more fun to play on the app, because with all the different expansions and the different, card combos and abilities, especially lately. So let's play yesterday's daily challenge. Okay. There's all these crazy card effects and it gets very cumbersome sometimes to keep track of, okay, how many buys do I have left? And how many actions was that? But I played that card twice and then I tipped it to the side and then that event triggered and then I have that project in person that can get really insane. So the app handles everything for you. It is so quick and streamlined. So first of all, every day there's a daily challenge, right? If you get it on your first try on hard mode, you did it. You beat the challenge. And it's so much fun. It's like the Wordle of the day. It's like a Sudoku. It's so much fun. If you like, doing a crossword every day, it's kind of like that. But the cool thing about this is that you don't have to pay to play the daily challenge. Actually, the app is free, by the way. But they'll sprinkle in all sorts of expansion content. So yesterday's challenge had a landmark, it had a project, it had an ally, it had a card from the new Rising Sun expansion, a card that you can play from your deck, which is insane. So it's just a blast. And I find that more days than not, I go on Dominion, I play my daily challenge, I see if I win. If I don't win, I just keep playing it over and over again to try to beat it. And it's a blast. And everything, as I'll show you right now, just resolves so quickly. My turn, AI's turn. My turn, boom, AI's turn. No shuffling, no, playing cards out of order, no forgetting about my actions, no forgetting that I have an extra buy. It's all done on the app and it's just so fast, right? Boom, 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 boom. Like so. What else did I want to say? So it's got the daily challenge. Beyond that, of course, you can play with your friends. If you play online, you can play with strangers as well. And I'll go ahead and say that the app is telling me that I had over 800 plays on here in 2024. That is not exactly correct because I was using it for B-roll. And long story short, I completely botched my B-roll for the one video, Dominion video. So I had to do a new play, resign, new play, resign, new play, resign, new play, resign so many times. So, that number's probably a little bit inflated, but suffice to say, I've played hundreds of games of Dominion in 2024. And I'm just going to keep on playing. Again, those daily challenges are so much fun. Seeing all the different ways the expansions add to the game and introduce new concepts is just too much fun. So Dominion, Donald Vaccarino, you have done something extraordinary by keeping a game that's 17 years old now, refreshing, innovative, captivating. It's still so much fun to play. And now that I'm talking about it so much, I actually do want to go find my Empires expansion and play physically, because that's really fun too. So anyways, there you go, everybody. What a gauntlet of games that we talked about today, but those are my top 10 games that I played the most digitally last year. And I think I'm done with all my 2024 recap list videos. So if you're sick of them, there you go. We're done with it. In the meantime, though, don't forget to check out Level Up Retreat next weekend. If you want to know my favorite new to me games of 2024, which is a great video talking about great games, you can check that out right here. If you want to, I don't know about some of the favorite games I play on BoardGameArena besides some of the ones I mentioned today, you can check that out right there. Feel free to subscribe if you feel so inclined. And in the meantime, have a wonderful week. Take care. Happy gaming. Maybe I'll see you soon in New Jersey. All right. Bye.